Okay, so I want to make some oats porridge. So I use but I didn't put too much water in it because I'm being honest, I don't like to use too much water in my porridges because I like to use mostly for liquid like the milk, and I like to use coconut milk, one of my favorite. Um, so I have some oats. I'm just gonna add the oats to the. Let's add the oats to the water. Just gonna throw that in, dash it in. I tell you, Antoinette, Antoinette, I'm here. It's been forever. So just dash some oats in the pot. I will tell you, I don't use measuring cups for anything, and that's why I don't bake too much. I stay away from baking because baking is like a science. It's pretty precise when it comes on to the amount of ingredients, and cooking allow me to be very flexible when it comes down to how much I use. But baking, you have to be on point, so I don't do too much baking, so I stay away from that. So here I have the oats in the pot, just waiting for it to come up to a boil. But while I wait for that, I'm gonna add some cinnamon. So I said oats, it's pretty healthy. It's very good to lower your cholesterol. So it's really good. I would recommend having oats even once a week. If you want to have it every morning for breakfast, yeah, go right ahead. I think it's a great choice. But listen, make it flavorful, okay? So no boring oats, make it flavorful. And so I'm gonna add my cinnamon. And yeah, I'm just gonna dash some cinnamon in there. I don't know how much. Listen, I will taste it later, and if it needs more, I'll add more. But while I wait for it to come up to a boil, I put some cinnamon. I'm also gonna add some nutmeg. And that's gonna have someone that's already got at the store. If you have the fresh nutmeg, that's what I grew up with. It's fresh nutmeg. We actually used to have two nutmeg trees. I don't know if Antoinette remember it. She was a baby then. We used to have two nutmeg, hold up, nutmeg, right? Nutmeg. We used to have two nutmeg trees at the front of our house. Oh my God, they were so big. They were huge. They were maybe 100 feet. Tall. I don't know why they were so big. They were really big. I think they were like the biggest nutmeg trees I've ever seen. And so we used to be able to pick a fresh nutmeg from that tree, as well as we used to have fun climbing the trees. My cousins and myself, we had a lot of fun with those two nutmeg trees. So I have the oats with my cinnamon and the nutmeg. I'm just waiting for it to come up to a boil. Yeah, Antoinette, remember? Oh my God, I wonder, are those two trees still there? And I'm like, why is this thing taking so long? Okay, so this is a cast iron pot. Now this holds heat. It really holds the heat really well. But the thing about it will take a longer time to come to heat up. So it takes a longer time. But once you get this cast iron pot heated, it is on fire. It really holds the heat. And so here it's coming to a bubble. So I'm gonna wait. I'm trying to, so I love whole milk, but I've been trying to stay away from high cholesterol food because listen, we're aging, right? And it doesn't matter at what age you are, you know, trying to live a little healthy, a little cleaner is always good for the body. Just try to see as far as we can push it, you know. If we can live to see 125 and still looking like 60, hey, that would be an achievement. I am all for that. Okay, so what I'm going to use for my milk today is I'm going to use almond milk. So I love my whole milk, but again, that's pretty high in cholesterol. So I'm going to use a milk alternative. So I've never used almond milk in my oatmeal before, or in any of my porridges. So I'm curious to see what the taste is going to be. You know, is it going to give me that nice, rich texture that I would normally get from using the whole milk. I'm guessing maybe not, but who knows, as we'll see, because I've actually been using it for my coffee, and I was amazed that the almond milk, it foams pretty well, and it gives me nice foam for my latte. And I was like, oh wow, I'm not missing whole milk in my coffee once I foam the almond milk. So I was pretty surprised and pretty impressed by that. So again, welcome. Thank you all for stopping by, making some oatmeal. Not gonna pot. Okay, so I am gonna add I had almond milk. So let me just add that. Again, I don't like to use too much water when I make my porridges. I hate, so that's why I just use a little water. And then we're gonna top that up. So this is almond milk. So you see all that it's not as rich, and the color is not as white as though you'd see the regular milk. And it's, I would say it's not as maybe thick. I don't know if that's a good term to describe the milk, but it's not as white. I don't know how much experience you'll have with milk. Let me pour some out in a glass for you. Okay. So this is almond milk. So it's kind of a creamy, half white, maybe you would say, kind of a half white in color, right? Yeah, so it's not as but if I should get so I'm not gonna waste that, I'm gonna pour that in. And if we should get, let me get some other regular milk. Okay, so let's look at some regular milk now, and you'll see. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I should have held them up side by side. But yeah, this is much whiter, right? Yay, Antoinette says health is wealth. Right, that's the thing, Antoinette. I love speed. Welcome, welcome. You know what? I've not done live in forever. Because what I'm noticing is that when someone texts in the comments, it shows you that they liked the video and what number they were in liking the video. So Shina was number 2. Antoinette, you were number 1. Like, that's a new feature, I guess. I did not know about that. But here's our oatmeal's coming up, nice and thick. I'm still gonna add some. I haven't had the coconut milk to it as yet, so I am gonna add some coconut milk to this. So we're not gonna let it. Won't make it so thick. We need it to be thick, but not too much. You just gotta find that right consistency. And the thing with when you're making a porridges, even like oatmeal, less is more, and so you can always add more milk to get it thin. So I told you to add your milk gradually instead of just adding a whole lot of milk and then it gets too thin. But if it gets too thin, you could always add a little more oatmeal, and that will help to thicken it up. So there's always that. So whenever you're cooking, if something goes wrong, like, it's okay. There's always a solution to it, okay? Just have fun. When you're in the kitchen, just have fun. That's why I don't measure anything. I just want to have fun. I don't want to be worried about how much to use and did I measure it correctly. No, so I just have fun. So come on, oatmeal's coming nicely bubbled. I'm gonna add my, looking at the color, I'm not really seeing the cinnamon, so I know I'm gonna need some more cinnamon. I'm gonna need some more cinnamon, but I'm gonna add what was that, Antoinette? Antoinette said she was wondering. What were you wondering, Antoinette? What were you wondering? I'm gonna add some coconut milk now. Ooh, that's so rich and nice. I like my coconut milk, and coconut milk in your porridges, like I could say oatmeal. But I think Jamaica we say porridge, right? So we love our porridges, and like it's getting cold now here in the States, so this is a nice, oatmeal, nice and warm to start the day. It keeps you pretty full for a long time, but then gets you nice and warm to go out into the cold. Like today, it is pretty windy outside by me. It is super windy. The temperature is, let's check the temperature. Okay, where the temperature is, and that's not going to include wind chill, I'm pretty sure. Show me. Weather, and it is 47 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna just stir it because I don't want it to get stuck to the bottom of the pot. All right, so if you have some oatmeal, come join and let's make some oatmeal porridge together. Okay, so it is 47 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind it feels like 37 degrees. So it is getting cold over here. So this is so it was so cold, I was like, I wanted something to warm me up. So I was like, what's a good, something that's quick and easy? And it's like, you cannot go wrong with oats. And so, again, when you look at, like, for the example, this container, there's no cholesterol, so that's pretty awesome, pretty good. When it comes on to fat, I mean, and those are like good fats, and so it's pretty nice. And you do get like 5 grams of protein, and that's from half cup of dry oats. So that doesn't even take into consideration that you're adding milk. And the almond milk, like this almond milk, you get 1 gram of protein per 8 ounce. So that's kind of low. I think maybe it's the brand, because I think I've tried another brand. I feel like it had more protein than that. So this one was on sale, and I was like, oh, let me try. It was $1 less than the silk. I was like, oh, let me try that one. So I got it. But now I'm looking at it, it only gives you 1 gram of protein. So I don't think I'm going to buy it again. Because the thing about protein is that it keeps you full longer. So that's really good. So that's why you see all those people who like to work out. They try to stock up on protein. It helps to build muscles. So that's a very important part of it. It helps to build muscles. But then it also keeps you full longer. I'm just adding some more cinnamon and nutmeg. Love my spice. Oh my gosh. I almost forget. Got to have the vanilla. Oh my gosh. But don't you worry, it's still early. You can add these at any point throughout the cooking process. At the beginning, in the middle, at the end. So that's good. So let me just stir these in really good. No, this is pretty done. This is good. This is done. So I have brown sugar. I'm gonna add some brown sugar. I'm not gonna use too much, because when I put it in my bowl, I have honey. I have some natural honey. I have some honey, and so I'll just drizzle some honey on top. And so I'm going to use the brown sugar. I won't use a lot, just enough to give it a little sweetness, but not too much, and then we're going to add our vanilla as well. So let's add some brown sugar. Growing up, this is the sugar that we have growing up, was brown sugar. There wasn't no white sugar in the house. It was always brown sugar. So whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to bake, whatever you're going to cook, that is the sugar you have. That was the sugar of champion, the sugar of choice. Was brown sugar. I would want to thank you all for stopping by. Again, it's been so long since I've done a live. It's a little nerve-wracking. Oh, Antoinette, you're not a fan of oatmeal. Is that what you're saying? You don't like oatmeal? Yes, Antoinette don't like oatmeal. Okay. So in Jamaica, when you're making your porridge, a big thing is condensed milk, and I have the condensed milk open and I forgot about it. I already put my sugar in there, so I don't think I'm gonna need. I won't be using the condensed milk. Well, let me taste it, because if it's not too sweet, then I have some condensed milk to it. So let me go get condensed milk and the vanilla. No, I think my biggest thing, not being used to. Shayna, I know if I'm long time, it's been so long, I don't even know how to make you a moderator. How do you, hold up, add moderator, dash. Okay, Shayna, you should be a moderator now. You should be a moderator now. It's been so long since I've. Antoinette, are you proud of me? I bet you're happy to see me today, right? Okay, so I'm going to try. So I have the vanilla. So I'm going to add some vanilla to our oatmeal. I'm going to tell her, because I'm using the almond milk, it's not as light in color as how I'm used to it. So it's going to take a little bit, take some time to get used to that, because I'm used to seeing my oatmeal a little lighter. So I had some vanilla. Woo, girl, your hand heavy on the vanilla. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Michelle, I had the brown sugar, and I had my cinnamon and nutmeg. Michelle, I had my brown sugar and cinnamon and my nutmeg. So I just add the vanilla. So let me try it and see if we have room for some condensed milk, because we don't want to make it too sweet again. So let's see here. Okay. All right, we're gonna try it again, so you can see the texture. It's up to you how thick or thin you want it to be. And if it's too thick, you can add some more milk to thin it out. If it's too thin, you can just leave it on the stove real low and just let it finish cooking down a little more. Or if you're brave enough, you can add a little more oats, and that will help to thicken it. But I'll leave that one up to you. Okay. Okay. Had a little sweetness to it from using the brown sugar. But I think we have some room where we can actually use some condensed milk. As I feel like, especially like in Jamaica, I feel like no porridge is complete without condensed milk. So here I have some condensed milk. I already opened it from the can. Yeah, Michelle say, oh, okay, it's gonna be good. Right, Michelle? Right there, so just like that. Oh, taking away Chavez at kitchen. That's her slang. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh, I swear, I don't know how. Antoinette, do you remember growing up on condensed milk? The condensed milk here is so thick. I just don't recall condensed milk being so thick, but it's really thick here. Look at that. And so this is a good amount of porridge. So this can last me for maybe like 3 breakfasts. I bet you guys will be like, oh my God, that is so much porridge. That is so much oatmeal. What do you mean only 3 days? But yeah, I mean, when I have it, I have a decent bowl. And I just normally would just maybe have it by itself. So just have a decent bowl of oatmeal and just fill me up for the day. So this is about, I'm thinking about maybe 3, the most is 4 servings. But I think I'm going to let it last me for maybe 3 days. And then next time we can make another type of porridge. Looking forward to like the cornmeal porridge. That's a pretty popular one. Pretty much every baby, no matter if you're rich or poor, if you're from Jamaica, you grew up drinking cornmeal porridge. Michelle, so she used to drink it out of the can. Michelle, growing up, one of my favorite things to do with the condensed milk when the parents weren't looking, because snacks wasn't a big thing in the household. Most of the food was like cooked, right? It was all homemade cooked, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It wasn't no takeout, wasn't no snacks. And so sometimes when I'm there and I feel a little pickish as a child, I would go and I would slice a piece of bread. Because back then, the bread, they weren't sliced. Back then in the 90s, growing up, they were hard dough bread. So you had to slice your own bread. So I would go and I slice a piece of bread, and I would get the condensed milk, and I'll just sprinkle it over the bread. I don't know if you guys have tried that. Let me know. Have you ever tried that? So that used to be... Whenever I feel a little sweets, a little snack, I would just go and do that. But anyhow, guys, this porridge is looking good. I think we did really good. I like the texture of this. Again, I know by this time we finish cooking and we go to, like say, tomorrow. Like tomorrow when I go to heat it up, it's going to be even thicker, because once it's cool, it's going to be even thicker. So what I would do is I would add some milk to it. So tomorrow when I go to heat it up, I would add some milk to it. But I think we did everything here, guys. But at this texture, this is how I want to finish it off with. Again, it looks a little darker than I'm used to, because again, I'm using almond milk, so I'm trying to stay away from the cholesterol. Michelle from the 80s. I was part of the 80s too, but I guess I would say grew up, I would be like 90s. I would say I grew up in the 90s, but I was a part of the 80s as well. So we turn that off. No, I don't know how adventurous y'all be when it comes on to your cereal. But you know you can have toppings. Yeah, like you can sprinkle you know, if you want to put some raisins, you can sprinkle some raisins, you can sprinkle some granola. So that's why when I'm making it, I don't make it too sweet, because if I feel like I want to add some toppings to it, I'll go ahead. So you can go ahead and add it just to have some texture. To be honest, I've actually even tried adding, I like frosted flakes, and I've actually sprinkled frosted flakes over the top of my porridge. Good. I'm gonna say good. It is so good. Michelle, we're pretty close. So Michelle, I would say you grew up in the 80s, man. You grew up in the 80s, man. But I know, yeah, foundation is 80s. Yes, right there. Foundation is 80s. But we grew up in the 90s. Michelle, where are you from? Where are you from, Michelle? Okay, guys, so we made our porridge. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. So, one of my secret ingredients when I'm making, I tell you, my mother-in-law, she's Caucasian, and whenever she comes and she visits, I remember the last she was here in the summer, and I pretty much make her oatmeal porridge almost every day for the 2 weeks she was here. She keep asking me, oh my gosh, she just loved the oatmeal porridge that I make. And she's like, oh, how do you make it? And she was like, you're gonna make a video and show me. So hopefully she's watching now. Otherwise, I'm gonna post this. I'm going to post this and tell her that she can go on my channel and she can watch it. But something that I like to add, guys, I don't know if you've ever done it. It's some almond. Frank, big up yourself and welcome, Frank. Frank is like, Biba, where you are today? Michelle is down there. So Michelle, you're in Houston, Texas. You that means you're not getting prepared for the winter then, right? You guys know it's not cold by you. As I was saying earlier, it is 47 degrees here, Michelle. And it feels like 37 because of the wind chills. What's the temperature by you? Welcome, Frank. Okay, so this is the almond. Now a little bit goes a long way. Oh gosh, hold up. Let's see if we can get it. We don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. Okay, I think that should be good. And we're gonna mix it in. It really brings out a nice bright flavor into the oatmeal. And you can put it in any porridge, whether you're making cornmeal, plantain, banana, whatever porridge you're making, just a little almond, and it goes a long way. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. So that's it. I just did that. Something else that I have discovered when I'm having my oatmeal after I finish making it, and for not just for garnish purposes, but also for flavor, is the rind of the orange. So I'm gonna wash this orange, and when I make my bowl, I'm gonna put some rind, orange rind over the top to sprinkle it. I tell you, if you've never tried it before, I tell you, try it and let me know. Try it and let me know, because I tried it once and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And ever since, I've not stopped. So I'm gonna rinse this orange, and I'm gonna make a bowl. So let me get a bowl. Okay, so I'm getting the orange rinsed and I'm drying it. I need a bowl for my porridge. Okay. Now, this is kind of a wider bowl. What that means, it will cool faster because I am hungry. And I don't want to wait 10-15 minutes for my oatmeal to cool. So, oh my gosh, 80 degrees! 80 degrees! Oh, I'm jealous. It's still summer by you, Michelle. Still summer. So, Michelle, it's 80 degrees now, but last winter we had a freeze. Wow. And it was 19 degrees. Oh my gosh. But usually in the low 30s. Okay, nice. Usually here in the winter, it's in the negatives. And then the wind chills doesn't help us. So I'm going to put the pot to the side. Oh, it feels so nice and warm. It's still hot. And I'm going to get my bowl. And let's share some. Let's dish out some porridge. I think I have my ladle. I'm gonna get that. That's faster. That work faster. Hold up. Okay, I have no idea where I put the ladle, so we're just gonna work it just as so. So I'm just gonna dish it out. You know what I was thinking as I was making this? I have, what do you call it? A pumpkin spice. I was wondering, right? I was very tempted to put some of this pumpkin pie spice in my oatmeal. I was just very tempted. I was just very tempted to do that. I don't know. Have y'all ever tried pumpkin pie spice? I feel like it would be good. I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Ooh, I'm just gonna sprinkle just a little. Okay, let's see. Ah, oh my gosh. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all, I tell you, when it comes down to food, I always say there's no really no rule as long as the food is cooked and you won't get sick. You know what I mean? Like for example, chicken, you try to ensure it gets up to 160 degrees. You know, otherwise, I think everything else is on the table. You can do whatever you want to do. You know, and experiment with it, and don't be afraid. And if the first time you do it, it don't come out good, it's okay. Do it again. Okay, so this is what I was telling you about the orange rind. So I'm gonna try and get me some orange rind here. If you have never tried this in your oatmeal or your porridge, I advise you to do so. Yeah, man, it's so good. Well, let me see if I can. Oops. Yep. I know people will be like, orange rind. Like, yeah, try it. Try it. I tell you, try it. Before you bash it, before you say anything bad. No, it's not plastic. No, I wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't advise you to cook with plastic, because if you cook with plastic, all you're gonna do is end up eating plastic. So don't use plastic. Don't cook with plastic. So no. I'm going again. Welcome. I'm going again. Bless up. Bless up. Okay. So I have that, and so we can. Oh, so I told you I didn't use too much sugar as sweetener, because then I want to use the honey. So I normally just top off my oatmeal after making it with some, drizzle it with some honey, and there you go. Boom, boom. Right there, so that's it right there. Okay, so but I mentioned that if you want to have some crunch, right? So something else that you could add to your oatmeal, and we could just do this tomorrow. You don't have to, but I'll just have a little to it. Yeah, yes, Michelle. Yeah, you can't use plastic to cook with. So yep, I got the wooden ones there. I like my wooden utensils. All right, so we got that. That's finished. Okay, put that over there. I have some granola, and you can just put that there. Just follow the texture too. And you can use as much as you want. That's up to you. But there we have it. And so what I'm going to do with this pot right here is I'm going to pour it out into, I'm going to put it into a bowl. So I get that into a bowl, and I will have it for the next maybe two or 3 days. So I'll dish it out, but let it cool and cover it up. And then, you know what? So let's taste it. So you know, the last time I tasted is after I had the brown sugar. I did a little taste just to see if I had room for the condensed milk. I haven't tasted since, and that's a big part of cooking too. When I cook, it's the surprise at the end to see if all your hard work is going to pay off. Again, guys, if you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, have fun with it. Don't let anybody give you any hard time and tell you that you have to do this, it has to go like this way. You can just make food how you enjoy it, okay? So I'm gonna, but again, this orange, the orange peel, the orange rind, the grated orange rind in it is, oh my God. So let me try this with just the orange there. Next time you make your oatmeal, try this the orange zest. I swear, it uplifts it so much. I swear. I'm not lying to you. Now here I have the pumpkin pie spice. Okay, so this is a pumpkin pie spice, which is, you know what, it's mostly really a blend. I think it's like a blend of like cinnamon, like ginger, nutmeg, and allspice, and cloves. So shouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, guys, as I was telling you, so this is the first time I have made this using almond milk. But it's really good. I actually don't miss whole milk. I normally use whole milk and I don't miss whole milk. That's pretty awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we're gonna try it with that granola, right? So let's have some crunch. Let's see what it goes like. So I think adding something with a crunchier texture, especially because sometimes some person may be like, oh, I don't eat oatmeal just because of the texture, right? And it may be something you need to get used to. But adding like a sprinkle of granola really helps it and gives it some texture. Something else that I would add, another thing that I like to add to cut up small, is an apple. You can wash your fresh apple, dice it up, or shave it, however you want to do it, and put it as a topping in your porridge. And there, right there, you're having your nice fresh fruits while enjoying a bowl of oatmeal. And that add texture, popular one with the pre-made. But I'm not a big fan. It has a lot of sugar. I like making my own. I grew up, my parents, grandparents and all making their own porridge. So I don't really use that pre-made one that you get in the packet where you just whip and just add water or milk and then add. I like to make it from scratch. So yeah, there we go. But thank you guys so much. J&J, the candy cap, Joseph. Yeah, plastic's not good to eat. Okay, so now that we do all of that, I'm just gonna mix it up. So I try all of them separate. I'm just gonna mix up everything. Again, you can add more granola. I'm very tempted to do the apple, but I think tomorrow for my topping, I'm gonna do apple. I'm gonna add the apple. So again, I have leftovers here. Leave the pot open a little. Cool. We're gonna dish it out into a container, and not a plastic container. It's gonna be, we're gonna use our glass Tupperware. Okay, so as much as we can try to stay away from the plastic, you do that. So we're gonna use our glass Tupperware. I don't know if you notice, like when you, especially if you put food that's hot or warm into plastic, when you take it out, you can see where the food, the heat actually take away from the plastic. So all the plastic actually went into your food. So if you have the glassware to store it, I do recommend getting such a glass storage containers. But yeah, so nice. This is so good, guys. Oatmeal. Make your own oatmeal from scratch. Okay? And if you came late for this video, I'll be posting it on my channel, so you can always watch it at a later time, okay? So tomorrow we'll come back and we try and make something else. Yeah, Michelle, thank you so much for staying with me. Shayna, thank you. Antoinette. We had J&J passing by in the comment. J&J.